ask yourself whether reality is a dream or you a dream or reality. We are all a part of the answer to the meaning of it all. Come in and join us for the moment we call now. Rise up, join in, raise the whole vibration.
Yes, rise up, join in, raise the whole vibration. That's what I'm here for. It's it's the live stream of consciousness again. It's February 27th on in a 28-day month, or the idea of a 28-day month. Welcome, my fellow inhabitants of the 3D realm. Welcome once again to the live stream of consciousness. Once again, if you have been here before, welcome for the first time. If you're here for the first time, this is a place that has been created out of intention to kind of explore the ideas of consciousness and who we all are and how we're all connected to it. I've been doing this for a while and I enjoy it very much. So thank you for being here. I see Lily out there. I think this was from earlier today, your higher self. Hello. I think that comment was from earlier today. That was there when I got here. But welcome. I want to just kind of get a haircut at some point. Yeah, look at that. I want to open up the space. Something pretty cool that my friend Brian is doing on his Angel show is opening up the space and kind of just getting everybody into that same moment. And I'm basically, I want to do that. I see my guest is trying to connect to me. Hang on one second. I'm gonna say hello. Oh no, what seems to be the problem?
Where do I go?
You just want to did you get a link? Did I send you a link in the WhatsApp?
You just want let me see.
Yeah, there should be a link there.
Yeah, there should be a link there.
So you guys, we are live. My guest was unable to connect. But she's I'm confident she's going to connect. She actually, I think she just ended the call over here. She's going to connect. How do I get in? I'm seeing a text. So I got thrown off a little bit. Your higher self, you are here. Awesome. Good to see you here. Welcome. If you haven't subscribed, please do. I'm like this close to 500, which brings me to that next level and allows this show to be seen by more people. And it seems to be growing and spreading to some like-minded people. So thank you guys, like I said, for being here. Let me open the space while Eva tries to get in to the guest spot. I'm going to just, and I think she's there. So she is there. I'm going to let her get settled as I open up the space. But I think I showed you guys last week this beautiful Tibetan bowl that my love got for me. And I just have been, every time I walk by it, I feel like it vibrates, even just that littlest bit. It's just so amazing. And I see Tim out there posting #live, reminding me to tell you guys that let's grow together. Let's grow this community together. If you are watching live, type in the comments #live. That just tickles the algorithm a little bit, tells them we're here doing something cool and it should pay attention. And that would be awesome. But I'm going to just open up the space. So what I would love you guys to do is just get really comfortable. We're all here together. Just get really comfortable. I want you to take a deep breath in through your nose or take deep breaths. Get your rhythm going with your breath, breathing in and breathing out and just letting it happen, right? It just happens naturally. And I just want to clear the space with the bowl. I love this bowl so much. There we go. Awesome. Thank you guys for indulging me. Very cool. I just love the bowl. I can still hear it ringing over here on the side. I just love the way that works and clear space. So anyway, I've done the introductions. the guest has successfully entered the green room, so we're gonna move forward with the show. The live stream of consciousness, my favorite place to be. One of my two favorite places to be during the week. I'm now hosting a second show called Holding Space, which is very similar. I basically open a space, I hold it, we all enjoy it together, and we all compare puzzle pieces, how we connect to the universe, how we connect to source. And we just, as we do this each week, we're completing the puzzle, right? We're starting to see a clearer and clearer picture of what it means to be a human being in the 3D existence on a planet of other human beings also in a 3D existence. That's the important thing. So let's get this show on the road. My guest is from, I got to give a shout out to the entrepreneur group on WhatsApp that is Alicia Muñoz's group, the Spiritual Entrepreneur Haven. It's a great group of spiritually aware entrepreneurs who are really doing the work of being in service, but in an entrepreneurial manner, so that they can also live in abundance and allow their connection and what they're sharing with other people to provide them with a lifestyle. And it's authentic. I think it's really cool. Pretty amazing. So from that group, I spoke to a bunch of people and I got some volunteers. We're going to be featuring a bunch of people from that group. But my first, besides Alicia, of course, the first guest from that group is Eva Gypsy Love. Welcome to the live stream of consciousness. And for some reason, Eva, I'm trying to add you to the stage here. Oh, there we go. I couldn't figure it out. How you doing, Eva?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Besides the technical difficulties we're having
Yes,
tonight.
yes. I was trying to figure it out. I was like, how I do this? Where I go?
Yeah, yes, but here you are. You got in. I love your hair. It looks
Thank
awesome.
you.
Welcome to the live stream. Ninja Kitty's out there saying welcome. Tim's out there saying welcome. And I'm saying welcome. And I just want to make sure. I mean, it seems pretty straightforward. It's Eva Gypsy Love, right?
Yes, it is.
Awesome. I love that. I love people who kind of create a name that embodies kind of what they feel and what they want to be. So
Yes.
it's awesome. And you've got a friend out there, your higher self is saying, hey, Eva, what's up? And up some more friends. P Queen, what's up, P Queen? Welcome to the space. Welcome. So I started talking about what this show is about, right? I really enjoy exploring kind of deeper thought that kind of goes past the 3D existence that we experience here every day, and that's what the show is all about. So I start off with a question that I love because the answer is always a little bit different, but always correct, and that is, what is consciousness? What are we talking about when we talk about consciousness?
Well, for me, what we talk about when we talk about consciousness is keeping in mind that, we live amongst the dead, that everything is not the way it seems, and things are right there before your eyes. So you have to be aware and you have to be in tune with self first so that you could be in tune with the world, God, and everything else that comes with it.
Absolutely. So that was an interesting way that you put it, that we're living with the dead. And what I'm going to kind of I'm going to respond to that is there, it's obvious that you believe, and as I do, that there's more to this world than the 3D existence, right? That the dead exist in this kind of non-physical realm, or this this existence that's not physical, but evidently there. So my first question to you is going to be, do you have a story about a moment that you realized that, like, that you suddenly were like, oh, wait a second, there's more to it than just waking up and the sun shining and I go outside,
Wow. Well, that's a real deep one. I would say the moment that I crossed over and was in the spiritual world and got to meet God.
Mm.
It took me to a whole nother perspective of understanding how life works and how we think it works and what we have around us. So um, it was just a very interesting story. At that time, I was always afraid of, doing any type of psychedelics and things of that matter. And so I I've always been a person afraid of having things that could take control over me.
Hmm.
Um, but that day I decided to take my first psychedelic dose by myself. I did some psilocybin, and um, I went on a very long journey. It was 8 hours. I was gone for. It felt like half an hour. I seen some amazing things, met some amazing people, and got to sit with God. And it was the most life changing experience I've ever had. Even though I did do those things prior, and I used to do past life regressions and guided journeys, I've done this for about 27 years now. That moment, it was my space. It was where I took myself to, and it was unbelievable. And it gave me a whole different picture, and God gave me a whole different other door that He opened for me, and it's been amazing ever since.
Awesome. So that's interesting. You're saying that you were into the idea that there is an energetic realm, another realm, and past lives, and the idea of, when we pass on, there's a soul or a spirit that exists, there, our essence, right? So you were into that stuff, but you hadn't really experienced it, and this was like an experience that allowed you to understand it, I guess, on a deeper level.
Yeah, and kind of went beyond what I normally already knew. What
Mm,
I normally already understood, and what I normally already saw.
mhm,
I never got to sit with God before, and
mhm,
so just having that moment where I saw that I could do that, it just opened up another door for me to do it for other people as well.
mhm, mhm, mhm. So, can you tell me what that was like? I mean, what is it like
Woo!
to sit with God? Because I think, when you say something like that, there's kind of like a picture that comes to people's minds about this physical experience, but I'm imagining it wasn't really a physical experience.
Well,
Or
most
maybe there was. Maybe that's
yeah,
how,
most
that's how it
people
came.
I'd say to the other side do not have a physical experience, um, and some do. And
Mhm,
so the physical kind of experience I have was it was very extraordinary. I went through a portal door that they allowed me to go through. Also Jaruba, which is Ifa. And so I use Elegua, which is the gatekeeper of the spiritual world and allows you to come in. Um, so they opened the portal door for me, and it just felt like this extraordinary feeling of somebody hugging you so tight, like
mhm,
this love that I've never felt, not even from my parents.
mhm,
And it pulled me in, and I walked in, and all I remember was looking up to my left, and there was this big white smoke, and inside the big white smoke there was impressions. It was different people, it was trees, it was animals, and the impressions would come out of it
mhm,
just like that. And in front of it, there was like, it looked like fireflies, and there was a whole bunch of them. And the impression in the smoke would pick up the firefly, blow it, and then it would go. But I
mhm,
was so stuck looking at the smoke that I
mhm,
wasn't even realize what he was doing with the fireflies. And I was like,
mhm,
you're
mhm.
God.
Yeah.
That's what came in my mind. I was like, oh shit,
Mhm, mhm, mhm,
you're God. Like, this is not happening. And
mhm,
of course, all I heard was laughter, and everything is communicated on the other side through the mind. And
mhm, mhm,
I was like, am I bugging? No, you have to be God. And so then the entity started speaking and started letting me know questions I had since I was about 3 years old. Started letting me know things like when I used to talk to God when I was little. Like when I used to ask for, I would say, okay, good night, God, and say good night to Mrs. God, because I always felt like God couldn't be alone up there in the universe. So, so it started saying things like that.
Mhm,
You start learning that it's not a he, a she, it's
mhm, mhm,
everything. And
mhm, mhm,
started answering all my questions. Like every single question I could possibly have thought of in my whole life was being answered in those seconds.
mhm,
And
mhm.
as I'm watching, it kept picking up the lights and blowing them. And I'm like, what the hell are you doing with the lights though? you know?
Mhm.
And you look and a portal opens and the light went down and boom, it would go into a woman. I was like, oh, you're making babies. I said, isn't this dope? Like I get to see you and I get to see you making babies. And it was weird to me and odd
That's
to me
cool.
that he was throwing these babies into these women, but these women weren't having relations. Wow, it's not like they was having sex. It wasn't like they
Mhm,
was in bed
mhm.
with their husbands. It was,
Right, right, right.
they were walking in the street. They were in libraries. They was in the supermarket, and it
Mm.
was just like, whoa.
Wow.
I was like, so we really don't need. I was like, you know what? It's too much. Sometimes there's just certain things I don't want to know, and all I could think about at that moment was, how can I help you?
Mm,
I said, it looks like you got a lot on your plate, homie. Like, what's up? Like,
mm.
what can I do to lighten up the road? What can I do to make things easier for me and for you? And so God shows me a film and turns on a movie, and I'm like, but I already do that. Like, that's whack. Like, I thought you were gonna show me something new,
Right,
So
right, right,
that's where
right.
I'm at. I'm like, I'm gonna learn something new right now. And I'm
Mhm,
like,
mhm.
but I do past life regressions, and yeah, I do readings, and yeah, I take people on guided journeys, except what he didn't show me is what I was about to do. And
Oh,
the guided journeys got deeper. The astral projection of me being able to take people got deeper. And, you know, the entity said, this is what I need you to do. You asked me, this is what I need you to do. He was
right,
like, oh,
right.
okay, go on, go do it. And then I was like, wait a minute, where's my baby?
Mhm.
I want baby. And
Ah,
he
well,
blows.
I love that though. I love
Yeah, it was just
that
amazing. He
you're
blows the babies at me. I remember leaving there, not wanting to leave. I remember not wanting to leave. It was almost like he shoved me out. Like the entity was like, no, enough. You can't stay here no more type
right,
thing.
right.
You don't want to leave. It's just a feeling. I was like, I could, help you with the light, with the fireflies. Like, I ain't gotta go nowhere.
Right,
I ain't got
right,
nothing to
right.
do on the other side, God. Like, so once I left out of there, it was amazing. I got to go all the way back into my life. That's when they took me into my past lives, and I got to meet my great 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 grandmother,
Oh
who taught
wow.
me how to read the crystal ball by
Oh
hitting me
wow.
on the forehead, which was weird. I didn't know how to read the crystal ball before I went in there, and when
Mhm.
I came out, I made sure that's one of the first things I did was buy a crystal ball. I was like,
Wow.
I want to see if I'm shitting myself or
Right,
what's
right,
going
right.
on. And so I went and I got me a crystal ball. Got up and I thought I was gone for like I said, half an hour, maybe an hour at most. Realized that I was gone for 8 hours. Realized that I was super tired, super hungry, and I had to pee like a racehorse for 20 minutes. I was peeing and I'm like, and I just,
Wow.
I sat here and basically thought I was going insane. I said, I had the best dream ever. That's what I told myself.
Mhm, 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 mhm.
um, that's what you tend to tell yourself because, the way humanity works is to confuse you. And that's what humanity is. Humanity is actually the confusion of what this world really is. So I turned around and I remember my first journey that I did after that. And it
Okay.
was never, ever the same. And so I realized that God opened the doors for me to bring people to their purpose, bring people to find that entity, that
Mhm,
light,
mhm, mhm,
bring people to understand the other side, bring
mhm.
people to see their ancestors, their loved ones, their dead, and kind of like organize you in understanding your superpower because we all have one.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
And
I agree with you.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it was first time I was very confused of what was going on, because I've done several guided journeys in 27 years, and I never thought that I could get to the level that it got. And I
Hmm.
was like, oh, well, I said,
Hmm.
this person is going through the same thing I went through when I was under. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, she's about to see God. I said, this is crazy. I was like, no, it's not gonna happen. I said, it's gonna happen. And so when I do my journeys, even when I do my astral projections for my, I call them journeys because that's what everybody else calls them, but it needs a super duper whooper name because it's different than anything else you ever had in your life. It's not comparison to any journey in this world. And not because I've been to everybody's journey in this world. It's just because I believe in my wonderful God, and the entity let me know that this was mine.
Sure.
This
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
package. This is what I came with, and this is my superpower. And
Right.
so it was really dope being able to take people, not only take them, but be able to see what you see and take you through and walk you through to into your purpose,
Hmm.
into your healing if you're sick,
Hmm.
being able to take you to different dimensions,
Hmm.
being able to take you to see the anarchies,
Hmm.
to get healed from any sickness.
Hmm. Hmm.
It just went from, the little girl from the Bronx just doing regular little hypnotisms, which is really what I thought I was doing for the past 27 years,
Hmm.
um, to doing full flown out of body experiences and taking your spirit into the next dimension and understanding the spirit world, understanding your guides, knowing who's guiding with you, who's walking with you,
Hmm.
what direction you need to go.
Hmm.
And it just started changing lives.
Amazing. Now let me ask you a question. Is this, it sounds like you have explored a bunch of different modalities, right, to achieve this kind of stuff, meditation, even on the most basic level, right? Is that, is your guided package always like, is it always like a psilocybin thing, or or it depends on what the person needs?
No psilocybins.
No
You
psilocybin.
don't need
Okay.
anything to go to astral projection. And if you do, that's something that I allow God to let me know.
Hmm.
And it's not for you to take a eighth, and just go. No, we're talking about maybe a square of chocolate if you need it.
Hmm.
Out
Hmm.
of probably over about almost 300 people that I've done, maybe about, I would say about 16 have taken psilocybin. The rest have gone in on their
Okay,
own.
without it, right?
Yeah, without it.
Cool.
And if for any reason you cannot, it's usually blockage within yourself. And
Hmm.
so now you got to work on yourself, and there's things that you have to do to better yourself so that you can be able to go in and be allowed to go into the other side, or
Hmm.
allow yourself to see, because a lot of blockage comes from self.
Hmm.
A lot of blockage don't even be from the ancestors or
Hmm.
the spirits. It's be you.
Sure. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. No, I think the biggest thing right now, in this time for humanity, in the spiritual community, and even in the regular world, right, the political community and everything that's going on outside of the spiritual community, let's say, is that understanding of self-love and how important it is to know thyself, right? That's like a sacred claim, right? Know thyself, right? That's like, you I don't think you can successfully navigate this 3D existence without that. You know what I mean? It's going to be a struggle if you don't know
No,
thyself,
no.
right?
And it's funny because, like I said, I've been doing this for 27 years now. And,
Mhm.
before, it's so much different from now. Even though I could take you and make you astral project and take you into the other side, I wasn't. I wasn't even aware that I could make you even feel those things. So it took a time in my life where I had to learn self love. We tell ourselves every day, I love me. I love me.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What are you talking about? I love me. No, we don't.
Mhm. 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 Mhm.
The majority of us, 90% of us, don't love ourselves at
Mhm.
all.
Right.
we're immune to want to love somebody else because it makes it so much easier to love somebody else and
Mhm.
try to tell them and watch them and make them do stuff that you should be doing for self.
Right.
So I went
Right.
into a whole holistic journey. I was an alcoholic. I used to smoke weed. I smoked cigarettes. I
Mhm.
was all over the place. Hi, mommy. I just and I had decided that those things were blockages in my life.
Mhm.
And I stopped everything cold turkey one day
Mhm.
and decided that I was no longer going to do that. I went into a fast. After the fast, I went into 90, it was supposed to be a 90-day juicing, but I lasted 94 days
Oh, wow.
because I couldn't find how to eat again. And so I did 94 days of juicing. Guys, I'm gonna tell you right now, it was an experience. Was it a bad experience? Yeah, in the beginning it was. It's like a whole total detox of your mind, your body, your soul, your spirit.
Mhm.
I mean, I went through changes that I didn't go through on a monthly. you know,
Mhm. 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 Mhm.
it was really, really bad, really different, really exhausting. And I thought I was gonna give up every turn I made. But
Mhm.
every time the day passed by, it became easier.
Right.
And I began to see things that I didn't see before. I
Mhm.
began to hear things that I didn't hear before. And
Mhm.
so those just brought me into those paths and things started getting clear. I stopped eating meat. And when I went back to eating, it was just vegetables and fruits. And I said, I want to keep my mind clear.
Mhm.
Something's telling me this is what I need to do. And then I went on that psilocybin journey and it was just over after that.
Mhm.
After that, I'm in a place that I've helped so many people. And sometimes it just took just the other day, like, I'm not a social media person. I'm about to be 46 years old and I'm come from the old school. Tell somebody who tells somebody who tells somebody who tells somebody about me and they come see me.
Right.
That's how
Right.
I move. I didn't know nothing about no Instagram, no TikTok, no none of that stuff. I just was not with the program. It always made me feel like high school. And high school wasn't the most coolest place for me. I don't know about y'all, but high school was
Mhm.
very, very exhausting.
Mhm.
Okay. I think
Sure.
it's more exhausting than being an adult, to tell you the truth.
It
And
absolutely can be. Yeah. Yeah. For
yeah,
sure.
so it just felt like high school. And every time I would try to go in there to try to do something or post something or be on a live, it felt like all eyes on me. And then even worse, I can't see who looking at me and what you're
Mhm.
doing. And so it would freak me out. And
Mhm.
I was very freak out. That's how I met wonderful Alicia, who gave us a wonderful class on social media.
Mhm.
Still didn't work.
Yeah.
Because if you go to my page now, you're gonna be like, she don't got nothing on this page. I don't
Oh,
think
that's
she could
funny.
do nothing. That don't matter to me because I know what I can do.
Yeah,
Um,
that's you know what it
I
doesn't.
know who
I
I
agree.
am.
It doesn't. It's not. It
No.
doesn't mean anything. You know what
Yeah,
I
it
mean?
doesn't mean because now it's like, oh well, who's following you and how many followers you have?
Mhm.
Oh, she don't what? You only got
Mhm.
500? Oh, you not nobody.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Then this nobody will take herself to somebody who believes I'm a somebody.
Right.
And
Right.
so it's crazy how God pushes you in certain directions even when you don't want to go that direction,
Mhm.
and you try to go left and he's like, okay, don't
Mhm.
worry, I'll meet you on the other corner. You think it's over. And
Mhm.
it wasn't until the other day that I really, really, really realized the impact that I make on people.
Mhm.
um I bumped into somebody. I've been looking for a social media manager, had all the wrong ones,
Mhm.
just taking my money. And I was just like, is this what this supposed to be? Like, I don't understand none
Mhm.
of this stuff.
Mhm. Mhm.
And, God put me in a place of, no, the social media manager is going to come to you. So he took a young lady that never done social media
Mhm.
management, and he took her, a family of mine, my little beautiful niece, and turned
Mhm.
around and let me have a conversation with her by accident. And I was like, I'm just looking for a social media manager. She was like, well, I do videos, but it's like, for my gaming. I was like, well, that's not the same, but and she was like, well, I'll try one. And
Mhm,
I'm like,
mhm,
okay,
mhm.
whatever, you know.
I love that. That's great. That's how you do stuff. You gotta do.
Yeah,
You gotta.
no, I was
You,
like, you
you,
know, I gave up. I was like, it was really a give up at that
mhm,
point. Like, whoever, it doesn't even matter. Like, I'll take a 5-year-old right now. Whoever comes, right? And so I took the opportunity to speak to her, and I was like, okay, you know what? I was like, go ahead, you know, but it wasn't for me. It wasn't for
mhm,
my platform. So I have a platform called the Four Corners Village, and I've
mhm.
been trying to get the village to be, you know, everybody to understand what a village is. Let's work together. Let's help each other. This is what we're supposed to do. God wants us
Yeah,
to help each
yeah,
other.
yeah, yeah.
You know, we
I
got a
love.
lot
I
of,
love
this
that.
is the
Yeah.
spiritual warfare we live in. And the more you understand that, the easier life will go for you. I promise. The more
Yes.
you understand that. We're
Absolutely.
thinking people are dead and they go to this heaven that y'all made up and that people made up, and this hell that people made up. It doesn't work like that, guys.
Mhm.
There's no trees and 72 virgins. None of that sits up there. Um, there, like I said, we live amongst the dead. All the dimensions, we're all right here all the
Mhm,
time.
mhm,
And so I had a recording, and it's funny because it was just something that was from last year. And I've had, because Alicia, she's like, make people make you a review, queen. Make them make you a video review. And I was like, okay. You go to my phone, no lie, I got about 20,000 pictures and videos. I got probably about 100 different video reviews. And
Nice.
everybody calls me and be like, but Eva, when are you gonna, it's gonna go up. It's gonna go up as
Nice.
soon as I get the manager. And years pass, years pass. And they're like, do you still even have my stuff? And I'm like, yeah, but I'm not gonna post it because I just don't wanna, right? And so I remember a great friend of mine, and she's just freaking amazing. She's awesome. And I knew she needed my help about 5 years ago when I met her.
Mhm.
And as the years went by, she tried to get astral projection journey done, and then it failed. It just kept failing. And last year, for some reason, God came to me and said, hey, it's time for her journey. With money, with no money, it's time for her journey. And I said, all
Mhm,
right, God, I
mhm,
hear you.
mhm.
Let's do this. So I told her before the year's over, I got to do your journey. So on December 26th, we went in and we sat down and we did her journey. And it was amazing. It lasted about probably one of my longest journeys, 2 hours and about 15 minutes. And then on top of that, she had so many people on the side. I was just trying to cut it short. I was like, no more people, because usually at the end you get to meet your ancestors, you get to meet all these people, but she had people. And I
Really.
was like, homie, like we can't stay here forever. I was like, I'm tired, I can't do it. And so, you know, I took her on her journey, and then she, you know, I give you 21 days after, because 21 days is the days of the time that space stays open for you. So you're still connected to God, and you're still connected to the spiritual world for those 21 days. I might have you, depending on who you are and what you're going through, you'll do my 21-day book journal, which is going to come out. It's called Mirror Work Book Journal, where
Cool.
you talk to yourself in the mirror and get to understand the
Oh, I
spirit
love
world
that.
just a little bit more.
Nice.
Or for the 21 days, I have you do different objectives depending on who you are and what you're going through. And for her, you know, I had her just do simple stuff, water under the bed, just so she could remember her dreams, have some clarity, be okay during those 21 days. And
Mhm.
then I told her I never allow people to give me their review before the 21 days, because if you do, you'll miss something. You're going to
Mhm.
come, give me the review in 10 days, and then day number 12, you're gonna be like, yeah, let me tell you what happened, even. I'll be like, that
Right,
could have
right,
gone in your review, you know, and
right.
that's something that you need to analyze. So I leave that door open. So she gave me her review,
Mhm.
and I was a little bothered because I was like, you gave me your review recorded, but she didn't show her face. It was black screen. And I was like,
Oh,
why, baby? What happened, Leticia? She's like, I couldn't do it. You know, I get nervous in front of the camera. I can't do it. I can't do it, Eva. And I was like, so I told her to change it, and she was like, I was like, no, you know what? Forget it. God said, leave it like that. And I was like, no. I was like, all right, fine, God. You said leave it like that. I'm gonna leave it like that. I'm not gonna.
mhm.
And she said, I'm gonna change it. And she usually would have changed it, but she
Right.
didn't.
Okay.
Beautiful review, sounded great, but with no face, I felt like you know, I needed to see her face impression. And it was so funny when I started talking, it was happened about 2 weeks ago. I started talking to my niece about it. And that's what God said to me. He said, "Where's the recording?" I was like, "The recording?" I said, "I got 100, almost 300 reviews in here." I said, "We could start from way back bubble over there and just bring it back to this one." He's like, "No, find that recording." Couldn't you believe I couldn't find the recording? And looking for the recording, I couldn't find it. I called her, I said, "Leticia, I cannot find the recording. Where did you send it through?" She's like, "I think I sent it through WhatsApp." She couldn't even remember. So now we looking. We spent 24 hours looking for this recording. She finally finds it. And I'm like, "Okay, send me the recording." So she sends me the recording and I'm like, "Okay." So I tell my cousin, I said, my little niece, you know, she's my cousin, but she's young. So I call her my niece and I give her the recording. I said, "I'm going to send you the recording." She was like, and here's her guided journey recorded on Zoom, because I record everybody's guided journey. You get a recording of it so that you could watch it as well after and get certain things that you don't remember and that you'll need in the future. I promise you, you're gonna go back and be like. So she asked me, she's like, "What do you want me to, how do you want me to?" I said, "I don't even care, girl." I said, "This is all God's plan. He told me to give you the damn recording. Here's the damn recording. Do what you want. I don't care what it is." You know, I have no expectations. You're gaming. You do the gaming YouTube thing. So how much can I expect? Just go ahead.
Show me what you got.
I said, "Show me what you got and just make that recording stand out." Oh my God. 2 weeks later, I'm actually in a class on my platform that one of my facilitators is teaching, and I'm into the class, but she sends me the recording at that time. So I'm like, I'm paying attention to the class and I'm like, I want to press play, but I don't want to press play. So I'll open up the WhatsApp and now I'm looking at the video and I'm doing something in the video that I know that I do. And I'm like, why did she start the video with that position? So now I got the angry, it's not going to look right. I'm already coming in negative. And I remember standing right here. I stood over, I was standing up and I decided to press play. I said, I'm going to press play. And I pressed play. And within 3 seconds, I had to sit down. And I had to grab the tissue and I had to stop it. And I had to sit down again. And I was like, I don't know if I'm ready to watch the rest of this. And I sat there and I rewinded it all the way from the beginning again. Because I couldn't even believe what she did. And I watched, it's a 3-minute video. And I sat there and cried like the biggest baby in this whole world.
Oh, Eva, I feel it. I feel it. I feel that emotion welling up in you. That's amazing. And I saw that video, and it's a beautiful testimonial to what you did with this woman.
Man,
you know, it really is.
Man.
Yeah.
Is it a beautiful testimony? Not only is it a beautiful testimony and the words are amazing, but the way she put the pictures to that words.
Yeah.
It had me, the person in the video, in tears. Anybody who watched the video was sitting there like, Eva, oh my God.
Yeah.
And at that moment, I realized that you got to stop questioning yourself. You know, this world will make you question yourself. This world will turn you around and do you like they did Jesus. You don't know God. You don't got magic. You don't got powers. You're not nothing. And we're going to kill you. Because it's easier to kill something that you don't understand.
Yeah.
And this, not that I didn't believe that I could make changes like this. But I didn't know it was that impactful.
Well, yeah, it was a ripple, right? Because it was something that you had already done. This was a recording testimonial that you did this ripple, and then your cousin, your niece, she took that and she was affected by it, and she created her own vision from it, her own ripple now, and now that ripple is out there affecting other people. I see your higher self says the video is absolutely amazing, so
Mhm.
I love that,
Hey,
because that goes right back to the beginning of your story, where you said, what am I supposed to do? And you were told, just be you, just be you, just do what you're doing. And you did, and everything is going the way it's supposed to go. It sounds like, it sounds like you're
yeah,
exactly in the right spot. I love that. And I got to tell you, an emotional response like that is so significant. And as an empath, I can feel it, right? I start choking
yeah,
up a little bit, um but for me, an emotional response to something like that is so significant, because you are manifesting from a thought, right, into the physical, right? You feel it physically, you're choking up, your eyes
Mhm.
are producing real tears that are actually physical, right? And all of that is happening from the thought, from the energy of the idea of what it is, right? So beautiful, man. That's great to hear. I love it.
And then three people got to really understand their purpose and their path.
That's
You
amazing.
know,
Yeah.
my niece got to understand that she works through God, through vision
Mm-hmm.
of making
Mm-hmm.
videos.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the person in the video, Letitia, got to understand that she has power through writing
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
can speak. So
Mm-hmm.
now she's working on doing her own book,
Amazing.
you know? And me, it just put a cherry on top of what I already knew I could do and just made me go ham.
That's awesome. I'm really so happy for you, and glad that you're here doing what you do. I want to ask some questions to you, because it sounded like the way you were talking about guiding someone on an astral projection. I'm fascinated by that, because I definitely know what astral projection is. I can relate to it. I can say that I've experienced it in my own ways, through dream states,
Yes.
through moments, through meditation moments, different moments that I've had, have felt like astral projection, in the way that I'm like, okay, I'm not in this physical realm. I'm somewhere else, right?
Yes.
And I love that. But you said you go on the astral projection with them. You're like, actually, like, wherever it is that they are you with them, or you're just kind of like just the voice that's guiding them, or how does that work?
Well, it's crazy because I'm actually kind of with you. I get to see everything that you see. Some I see them before you because there's some people who are really advanced, and I'd be like, "Can you wait for me?"
Mhm,
I didn't
mhm.
tell you to see that red door. How the hell did you see the red door? But
Uh-huh,
it's
uh-huh.
just all depending on the person. So it just takes me to that place where I'm able to, I don't know, God gives me the clarity, and it's always been like that ever since I started it's always been like that. Like
Wow.
I could see it and shut it out and send it out, and that's the way I envision. So if you're laying on my couch, my bed, or your bed, or your home, and you tell me that you can see it, I know whether you can see it or not. So some people would be
Wow.
like, "Yeah, I see this, I see that." I said, "No, you don't. You're not seeing anything. I know you're not seeing
Mhm.
anything because I'm not seeing what you're seeing." Or, the the gatekeeper, he's a little funny kid. He's a trickster. So he'll stand there and he'll be like, "So she's looking at flowers." And we'll both be standing there like, "Okay, whenever you finish looking at the flowers." So,
Mhm,
when you cheat yourself like that, you're cheating yourself, not me. You're
mhm,
not allowing yourself to go into this amazing,
mhm,
amazing experience that you don't even understand it unless you go in. And it's just
mhm.
how the girl Letitia explains it in the video. It's like everybody explains it. It's something that I cannot explain to you because you will not have the same journey Letitia had. You're not going to have
Right,
the same one
right.
Rob had. You're not going to have the same one Michael have. It's all different. And every journey I do, I get a new experience. I get to feel that, to to just see something new, like every time. It's just
That's
amazing to me.
cool.
And every time God sends me a sign through there, something for me. Oh,
That's
by the
cool.
way, remember when
Yeah,
you
yeah.
said that this wasn't enough for you to do? Look where you at now. And it's like, oh my God.
That's really cool. So you've said a bunch of things that sound like a little very unique to you and the way that you've experienced it. I have never heard anybody really talk about the way you're talking about God putting the babies into the women. I haven't heard that. That's a really cool vision and idea. I love thinking about that. And then also this idea that you're actually kind of in the astral realm with the person, seeing what they're seeing, like experiencing that. I haven't really heard that much. I mean, I know, clairvoyance and different, you know energetic connections to psychic mediumship and all of that comes with sometimes visions and things like that, but to actually see what that person's seeing, I think that's really cool. And I feel like like I said, I've had my moments, right? I've had experiences in meditations. I had an experience just driving, and I was at a stoplight, and I had an experience with the spirit, that to me was undeniable, right? Like I crossed realms for just a split second
Yeah,
or however long it
you
was.
did.
Yeah, yeah, and so I kind of know it exists, but when I've sat and tried to intentionally like explore my own past lives or do hypnotism, I can't seem there is some sort of block, right? I can't seem to let go completely
In order to
because
get in there.
yeah, because I mean I know it's there. I absolutely do. It's not like I don't believe. I mean, I do
Yeah.
believe. I've had enough experiences with people and with myself, but I do struggle with it. So maybe we'll have to talk after the show about bartering and getting me on your table or whatever it might be. Um
Definitely, definitely. I don't have
yeah,
no problem whether it's through
eh,
Zoom and in person.
cool.
It's an amazing experience.
Cool. Yeah, because I think that, the journey is exactly that. It's never really over, right? You've got to kind of
No,
constantly be exploring and doing new things. And I think as human beings, in this 3D existence, and I'm guilty of this too, is we often get into these comfort zones of, okay, I get up, I do this, and this is my routine, and that's how I want it. I just want to do that. But I find the most beautiful moments in life are experiencing new things outside of that comfort zone, and then just be like those aha moments. How are you going to have an aha moment inside of a
yeah.
comfort zone?
There's no uh-huh.
Yeah,
And in
yeah.
the spirit world, there's a lot of uh-huh. It gets overwhelming.
Sure.
It does get overwhelming. There's a lot that I've learned in a very little time, even though I've been doing this for 27 years. Once God unlocked that door, it was like whoosh, whoosh, and I was like, okay, God, stop, turn it off. Turn it off.
Mhm.
Wait, give me a second. Let me breathe. I'm still human. Remember, you put me in a human body. You didn't want me in a human body. You should have kept my spirit, and I would have been doing something else. But right now, it was a lot. It was a lot
Mhm.
to understand, you know, the rebirth of your ancestors. It was a lot to understand who your parents are and if they're really your parents or your vessels to get to it. It was just a lot. It was a lot to understand different dimensions. It was a lot to see the anarchies and be like, what in the hell is this? Like, I
Mhm.
didn't understand all those things. So it got scary at times, and it got, no, I'm crazy, I'm not seeing those things, because people will make you feel, and not just people, just even yourself, your own human mind. We're so built out of whack that
Mhm.
we'll make ourselves feel like we don't know what the hell we're talking about after
Mhm.
we know what the hell we're talking about. So we'll convince ourselves, no, this is not what's happening, and
Sure.
it's exactly what's happening.
Yeah.
Now nothing scares me on that side. Now I got like past my biggest fear, which was the anarchies, and they scared the crap out of me when I went and I did some Cambo, ended up doing some DMT, and nobody in the group could explain to me what the hell I just saw. And I was like, listen, they were aliens and y'all niggas, y'all not explaining nothing to me, or they were demons. What is going on
Right.
here? I don't know what just happened. And it took me to a level now to understand I had to meet these people and I had to get to the next level and be able to go to all these different dimensions and visit
Mhm.
my family and see the anarchies and take people to go get well and have different surgeries from the ones that they have here because we live amongst the dead. And it's
Yeah.
just amazing the things that you can do on the other side
Yeah.
and
Sure.
how you can make yourself well and you don't need nothing else.
Sure. Well, I love, I mean, I feel like I kind of can relate to you because you you explore all these different modalities. Like I saw also like you read tarot, and to me, a lot of the theme of this show and the thing that I talk about is energy being the central component of everything. And all of these things, tarot and astral travel, are different ways to connect to the energy and to kind of use energy or experience energy,
Or make
um,
it speak.
or make it speak, read and communicate with the energy. Yeah, absolutely. And I love that you kind of do all of that, because a lot of times people get into like, oh, they do Reiki and that's kind of their modality and
Hmm.
that's what they do, or they read the Akashic records, which again to me is all the same. And I love what you said, especially because I say this all the time, like aliens, interdimensional beings, angels, demons, they're all made of the same thing. They all come
That's
from the
right.
same thing. And
Mhm.
really what it is you, right? It boils down to how are you able to receive those energies, and how do they like show themselves to you, because that's what works for you. That's what
Yeah.
allows you to understand it. Because man, we are so limited as human beings, with our language, and to try to explain some of the things, like you were saying, like, I don't know what I just saw, tell me what I just saw, tell me what I just experienced. I don't think that there's always words, right?
No.
I think the language of the universe is feeling. It's like feeling and knowing, right? Like you just, like you said, when all of a sudden all of your questions were being answered, right? And it wasn't like a conversation where you're like asking the questions. It was just like all of a sudden you just knew the answers. You just knew it.
Yeah.
You're like,
It was just one behind the other. It was like dun dun dun.
yeah,
Since I was 3 years old, I was like, oh, that was scary. It was just a lot.
yeah,
I was like, wait a minute, but
right, right.
it's definitely an experience and it teaches you a lot about how our human experience is. And if we allow our light, our spirit to expand over the human body, we'll
Mhm.
understand the universe how we're supposed to understand it and be able,
Totally,
everybody has their connection and their own way of connecting. And that's my
totally.
job.
Yeah, yeah, totally. And also the other interesting thing too that you talked about, is the idea of kind of aiding the experience with things like DMT and psilocybin, and that's just one way to do it, and doing it without those aids as well, right? Because again, I feel like it's energy, and I feel like the properties of those different substances are, there's an energetic property to them that allows you to connect. I do think, like for instance, ayahuasca is something that I've had
Yeah.
a lot of my friends have experienced that, and I hear amazing stories that just like, ooh, I gotta go do that. But I personally have not felt called to like, okay, it's
I
your
have.
time, and I'm okay with that, even though I'm like, oh, it would be so cool,
And
you
that's just
know.
fear. That's just fear of facing self. I've been called for it for the longest. I said, I'm ready. Like, when are we gonna go do this? But everybody that I'm with is not. So they're like,
Mhm,
no. I was
mhm,
like, I'm not going over there by myself. Like, somebody
right,
got to be with me that I know, so that I can feel comfortable,
right,
because I know that I'm ready to go to those levels and just see what else. I don't know what else they could possibly show me than what they already showed me, but
right,
I'm ready to see, and I'm ready to
right.
know and see and grow if I can expand anymore and grow anymore, because it helps me help everyone else to grow. and
Sure.
everybody else to be in their light. And that's what I'm here
Yeah.
for. I'm here to help people find God and find their purpose
Yeah.
and be in
And,
their light.
and yeah, and I think again, I think it really all boils down to energy and and an understanding of that energy, right? So what I mean by that is you understand that being in love, being in that energy of love, how that's going to affect everybody around you, and how not only that but how it feels, right? It feels so much better to be in the energy of love than to be in the energy of fear or anger or any of those other things. It
Yeah.
just feels better. It's just like and it's so exciting that so many people are waking up to their own power, right?
Ooh, it's amazing.
It's not giving power to anyone else, right? Like I'm sure you can relate to this. So many people can relate to this, right? Growing up as a teenager, a 20-year-old, like, oh my God, I gotta find my soulmate. I gotta find that person. There's something outside of me that's gonna make me whole. And I think that's just the not the right way to go, right? And it's like you got to be whole first in order to find that soulmate and
That person that,
create something bigger,
yeah,
right?
exactly.
You know,
It completes the puzzle, and you can't find completion with the puzzle if you're trying this piece, that piece, or you're trying to shove pieces together that don't even belong together.
that's it.
So,
Exactly right. Exactly right.
so
And Courtney says, oh, I clicked the wrong one, taking back our power. And Aiden is out there. What's up, Aiden? Good to see
yes.
you. Good to see everybody out there from the Sacred Spiral Network joining. That's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
that's definitely cool.
Yeah, so awesome. Again, I love your intention. I love the whole energy of who you are. Um, I also it was interesting to me to kind of name this episode "Finding God," right? Because I think I have before I was who I am now, I struggled with the word God for a very long time because I felt like there's this personification of
Stigma.
the concept. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's like you say the word God, and there's like immediately comes things that come to mind, and I had to realize like, who cares what all of that other what other
It's
people
just a
think?
name.
It's
You can
just a
name them.
name,
You
right?
can name
And
'em what you want. You can name
right,
it Bill,
yep.
Frank. God is here.
Bill,
God is
Frank,
hilarious. I'm gonna let y'all know
I
now.
love
God is
that.
a comedian. He don't care what name you giving him.
I love that.
It doesn't matter. You call him
Bill,
whatever it is feels in your heart that you need to call it. And
that's great. I think I'm going to call Source Energy Bill from now on. I'm not going to say Source.
there you
Um,
go. And then he's energy
uh,
Bill for you, and he'll answer as Bill. And that's just what it is. Um, it's just getting focused into understanding that you could actually do these things and be in your light and help people out. Like, I don't only do that. I could take you to the other side to see your loved one. Your husband died, your
yeah,
boyfriend, your
yeah,
mama, your
yeah,
father. You want to go see him? Let's go see him.
right.
Isn't it better than going to a medium, which I used to be as well, where you come and you talk to me and I talk to you and tell you what you no, go in there. Go
Totally.
hug your dad, go hug your mom, go sit with them, talk to them, go be by their side. That way what I'm saying won't even matter when you come from over there. You're gonna be like, I
Totally.
got to hug them. I got to feel
Totally.
them. And it's the same thing I'm doing now as a birth doula. If you go into my link tree, it just rolls. And so
Oh,
as
thank you for reminding me. I'm going to pop that up right now. Yeah, you have one of the most impressive link trees I've seen. It just keeps going. You keep scrolling. Like you do so many things. You're a birth doula. You do so many things.
I'm
And
an ordained minister. I'm a past life regression. I'm a hypnotherapist. I do Kundalini. Just graduated from that now. That
that's
was just out
awesome.
of curiosity. I just love doing different things. I'm a birth doula and death doula. I prepare your dead to get into the spirit world. And as the birth doula, this is something new I learned. The kids started speaking to me. So a lot of my kids are actually born on angel numbers. You got 555, 222s, 333s, 444s. A
Nice.
lot of them speak to me, and now I am incorporating taking moms, pregnant, beautiful moms, to go meet your baby. Go meet your baby. Go find out if your baby's name should be Frank. Maybe your baby doesn't like Frank. Maybe your name baby wants to be
Bill,
named Jose.
Bill,
Maybe he
no.
wants to be named Andy. Maybe he wants Bill. Maybe he wants Michael. So it's very important. And these things are important because this idolizes and frames who they're going to become. Maybe it's important for you to understand that you're just a vessel for this baby. Maybe you need to know what this baby came to this world to do so you could better prepare this baby as he grows or she grows
Mhm,
up.
mhm,
So those are things that I'm also doing now.
mhm.
I prepare, I work with the dead, and I prepare and work with God to prepare this world for what we're really about to face. And if we are more prepared, don't you think we would be doing better? That's like us going to school and go to college and getting a degree, blah blah blah. Um,
Mhm.
but you don't need a degree to be in your light and to be who you are and to help the universe be who they are. And so those are one of the things I do. I'm also a certified life coach. You know, I decided to get certified out of all this stuff because, you know, people like seeing certificates, I guess, or
Mhm, mhm.
diplomas and so on and so forth. But what I've been doing for 27 years doesn't need nothing but that review. That one review speaks for my 27 years.
Totally, totally. And as you're telling me all of this, you know, and it's amazing that you can put a label on all of the things you do, but really the label is you. The label is you are you, and you affect people the way you do. So that is what allows you to do all of those things
Yes.
because of your energy and because of the love that you have and the authenticity, you know, behind what your intentions are. And I could feel it. It's
Yes.
amazing. I knew that, you know, that spiritual group, there's a lot of amazing energy there. Alicia, again, she's
She's amazing.
phenomenal. So, you know, I mean, just the idea that she put together and the people that are drawn to it, I think that's a big thing too, right? Is you're not everybody is gonna receive Eva Gypsy Love, right?
Right.
But the people that are right for
All
sure.
day.
They are for sure. You know what I mean? And that's what you're there for. I think that's great. And I've been onto this new thing. Tell me what you think about this. I've been onto this new thing.
Okay.
It's not it's not going against what you're saying, right?
Yes.
But the idea of we are all of those aspects. Our higher self are these other aspects. So there really is no other aspect, you know, like you are me, Eva, I am you, you know what I mean? Like I've said that for a while and I've been like, oh yeah, that's the way it is, but I've just been bullshitting, like I don't really understand it. But lately it's starting to make sense to me. I feel like we are all fractals of this God that we're talking about. You know, we're all the essence of God, and that means we're all the essence of each other. And when you live that way, it feels so much better. It feels so nice,
You can
right?
breathe.
You can breathe. You can breathe.
You can breathe. You
It's
can
amazing.
breathe. It allows you to breathe. It allows you to see things clearer. It allows you to help each other because we
Yes.
lose our frame of love for one another. We got into the place where we use words just to say them and we don't abide the action
Hmm.
that goes with them.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
so when I say I love you, I'm going to show you I love you, and I'm going to take you to the other side to show you you need to love you and why you need to love you, because we all got these powers. We all came with our own scope, you know. We all fit a certain puzzle. You just got to go in there and find it. And once
Amen.
you find it, it's hard. I promise you. Anybody, you could go to any of my clients, anybody who's had a journey, anybody who's gone just to see their dead, anybody who's gotten just a reading, um, they'll tell you it's just a different world and they have a different understanding and they get to see themselves in a different light and they're like, wow, I could hear God.
I
Yes, you
love it.
can.
I love
Yes, you
I
can.
love it, Eva. Thank you so much for
You're
being
welcome.
here. I knew again when I made the title of the episode, I was like, oh, is that too much? Is that like
And then you didn't even tell me. But when I first saw it, I was like, "Oh my God, he
I
used to finding God."
I
And
questioned.
you know what's funny? That came from Alicia as well. So I'm in
That's
Costa
awesome.
Rica, graduating from her spiritual and body class,
Uh-huh.
and there was a guy there that she brought that's been an entrepreneur since he was about 8 years old. And long story short, we're sitting there, and everybody's like, telling what each person does. And so I told Alicia from the beginning, I'm going to cut down my link tree. She was like, cut down your link tree. She was like, you need to add more stuff to the link tree. She was like, you're freaking amazing. She's like, don't cut nothing off. So I was like, it's just hard, you know, for people to come in and see. And so that's what I thought at that time. And so the guy tells everybody to explain. And so I'm sitting there explaining to him, and he's a very big entrepreneur. And I'm explaining to him, and I'm like, hey, so this is what I do. And in one split second, I've been looking for a tagline for 25 years at that time, looking for a tagline for what I do. And he sat there and he heard everything I said. He said, oh, so you help people find God. And I was like, how did you do that? How did you do that in 2 minutes? How did you do that? He was like, well, from what you explained and everything you said, that's what I get. You're helping people find God and find their purpose. And that's where it stood. I help people find God and their purpose.
Amazing.
So that was a perfect title you chose.
Yeah, and honestly, here energetically on my side, like I was like, I had a moment of like, ooh, should I do that? Should I that? And I was like, you know what? My guides, whatever it was, just said
it's good.
It's perfect. So really, thank you so much for being here. You're awesome to talk to.
You was awesome. I want to thank you. Thank you very much for inviting me. Thank you very much for giving me the chance and the moment to have this moment and explain something that, you know, I normally don't explain, but when people ask, I love talking about it because
you do it with, there's so much joy in it, and you could feel how much you love it. So
there's no more excitement than loving God. I promise y'all. Once you love God, Bill, Sam, Harry, Jessica, Joseph, Jasenia, whatever you want to call that higher power, that source. Once you get into that rhythm, it's like there's no turning back. Can nobody tell me nothing?
So
like,
awesome. I love it.
Nothing.
I love it. So I would love for you to just give my audience, our audience here together, just a parting word of love, or, you know, phrase, or, you know, whatever it might be. What do you got to say to my audience before I put you in the green room?
What I got to say to your audience, what I'm going to tell everyone out here is that you're just a step away from knowing who you are.
I love it.
You're just a step away. And don't let nobody tell you otherwise, you know? So live in your light and hope to see y'all soon. And like it says, at the end of the day, it takes a village, guys. So
I love it. I love it so much. Thank you so much for being here. Don't go anywhere. I want to talk to you after the show. Let me
not a problem. And if y'all need to find me, every platform, everywhere, Eva Gypsy Love, y'all got the link tree. Love y'all, life, y'all. Can't wait to see most of y'all. All right.
Talk to you later.
Bye-bye.
Holy moly, guys. Another phenomenal. I don't know about you, but these conversations, like, I can't go to bed for like another hour because I'm just like lit up. I'm all energized from the love that my guests share. So thank you, Eva, so much for sharing a bit of your love with me. I just wanted to announce, I open up my calendar over here at the end of every show, next week on Holding Space, which is the 4th, the Tuesday. I have Jackie Mazzarella, who's a good friend of mine, who is a yoga instructor, but also just kind of, again, the kind of person I love to bring on is somebody who just kind of emanates love and lives from this place of understanding that we all live on a planet with other human beings. I said that at the beginning of the show. So she's going to be on the 4th. Nancy Deutsch is going to be on the live stream of Conscious next week. She is part of that soul care conference that I've been talking about. So I got a good couple of guests coming up. I'm excited. Thank you guys, as always, for being here. All of the new folks, thank you for coming and sharing your energy with me. If you don't mind, it's real easy to just click a thumbs up or a subscribe if you liked it. If you didn't like it, even leave me a comment saying, yeah, this wasn't that great, because even that'll help me. I appreciate you guys being here. I will see you guys next week. And here's that new theme song that I really love. Peace.
This is the theme song for the live stream of consciousness. You gotta ask yourself whether reality is a dream or you a dream or reality. We're all a part of the answer to the meaning of it all. Come and join us for the moment.